Hi, welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. Today we're talking about, actually we're doing some Q&A. We're answering some questions from my Facebook group. I wanted to do a couple more questions. If you were listening to the last episode, I answered the question on whether vocal exercises will actually help you find your true voice, which is something that's someone asked in the Facebook group. And today I want to talk about vocal range. Can you improve your vocal range? How do you improve your vocal range? Being a better singer, finding auditions, and more. So we're just going to get into some questions real quick. If you guys want a part two of this Q&A and want to hear more questions answered from singers just like you, then let me know. I would love for you guys to come to the Facebook group and ask your own questions, but I'm going to jump right into the first question. So these are like if you listen to the last episode, I also explained that when you first come to join the Facebook group on Facebook, it's called Singing Tips for Performing Artists. And when you first join, there's a question of like, what's your biggest question right now? Or what's your biggest concern when it comes to singing? Okay, so this person said that their biggest question or their biggest concern, really, when it comes to singing, was wanting to know how to improve their vocal range. And so that's the first part of it. So I'm just going to talk about that first. So when it comes to improving your vocal range, the biggest thing that you want to think about and know for sure is that it is possible. You can improve your vocal range. Of course, it depends on like your age. There are so many different factors. This is why I should give a disclaimer. Like there are so many factors as to how and why your voice may or may not be growing in a certain way right now. So I want you to know that like I'm just giving as clear of an answer as I possibly can. Obviously, it might vary depending on your age, depending on your how often you are singing, right? How often have you been singing? There are so many different aspects to it, but the main thing that you need to know is that it is possible to improve your range, to grow your range, especially if you are a female singer like I am. I can tell you a lot of us want to sing higher or sing higher notes better, right? Sing higher notes more in tune with more ease without feeling a lot of pressure, right? Like nobody wants to be straining to hit a high A or whatever. So we don't want to be straining, we don't want to be pushing, we want to do it with ease. And I want you to know that it is possible to improve your range. So how do you actually do this? Well, you got to practice. Okay. You got to practice. Like it's the answer that no one wants to hear, but it's like, it's so obvious. Like you have to practice. You have to put in some effort and some work. And really, you need to do some vocal exercises that are going to help you to begin to expand your range. So, whenever I do vocal exercises with my students, I teach students around in multiple different studios in North Carolina, in person and online. And of course, in my private studio here, as you guys already know, I teach private students and students in my course, the Sing Confidently course, get discounted lessons as well. And in my private lessons, I always include a range extension exercise as part of like the vocal technique exercises at the beginning of the lesson, because that's going to help you to begin to extend your range. So we're going to start with like maybe exercises that are more like in triads, like third intervals and fifth intervals. And then we're going to do some octave jumps. And that's going to help you to begin to like extend your range and utilize, like let your vocal cords thin out at the top as you get to the higher notes and thicken up or thicken as you get to the lower notes, right? And so it just helps you to begin to get your vocal folds used to that transition from higher notes to lower notes. So I always include a range extension exercise. And I always, especially for younger students whose voices are changing, I always include a staccato exercise in the head voice, which allows you to get into those higher notes, but on quick, disconnected notes. And I do this for adult singers too. So if you're an adult female singer, you're wanting to extend your range, expand your range, and improve your range. Just begin with gently reaching into those higher notes, like those notes that feel a little bit high for you. First of all, it's a mindset thing. You need to know that it is possible for you to hit a lot of those notes, especially if you're thinking like above C, above middle C. That is where typically for most women, that's where you're going to get your second break in your voice, where you switch to your head voice. And that is, you need to start singing in that area. It might feel a bit scary if you're like, oh, I can't go that high. You almost probably can, like almost always, you definitely can. If you can speak up there, if you can speak really high, then you can sing up there as well. It's just a matter of, um, first of all, changing your mindset, like letting yourself know that it is possible, and then gently engaging those notes. Because what's happening is as you're singing higher, your vocal cords, your vocal folds are thinning out, they're getting thinner. So there's less surface area between them. So it feels, and it can feel, if you haven't done it very much or at all, it can feel very tenuous, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to crack, right? But it's a matter of, first of all, changing your mindset and then beginning to engage those notes up there. And it's singing is muscle memory. You have to practice it. You have to start to engage it, even in little ways. Try some staccato exercises up there. So that's like quick, like, like just quick notes up there. It can be very light. It can feel very airy. That's okay. You need air up there anyway. You need a lot of airflow in order for you to sing higher notes. And then you can eventually begin to kind of strengthen those notes a little bit and make them less airy, but you got to start engaging them at least. So that is my like number one tip. If you want to improve your range, you have to practice. You have to begin to engage those higher notes in a very simple, easy way, such as singing on staccato notes. Okay, I hope that helps. I There's like so much more that we can say about that, and like what does that look like if you're trying to sing this song with these high notes? How do you belch those high notes and things like that? But you have to just start by engaging higher notes, change your mindset about it, realize that you can do it. You absolutely can do that. Obviously, different people, different health concerns, different things, different ages. So, disclaimer, right? Take it with a grain of salt. But for the most part, you absolutely can hit a lot of those notes. It's just a matter of starting to engage them in simple and easy ways that don't add a lot of pressure, which is why staccato exercises are great. You can also do like lip trills up there, tongue trills. Those are SOVTs. So it adjusts the pressure on your vocal folds. So that might feel even better for you to sing on those higher notes with a lip trill or a tongue trill. I have other episodes about this, so I'm not going to linger here anymore, but feel free to come to the Facebook group and ask me if you have any other questions about this. Of course, I talk about this in the Sing Confidently course, how to practice like for yourself. Like, how do you set up your own practice time? How do you know what exercises to do? This is all in the Sing Confidently course. And I would love for you guys to check that out at creativelybyestelle.com/course. If you're really serious about wanting to improve your range, you have got to start practicing and practicing intentional exercises. So go to the course if you really are intentional, like wanting to be intentional about this. Join the course. Oh, I should let you guys know. I am doing a sale just for this week, and I'm only telling podcasts, like I'm only telling you guys, maybe my email list will know, but I am doing a sale. So if you do purchase the course this week before the price goes up, you can also get a free 30-minute voice lesson with me. Oh, okay. So then we can actually work on this more in depth. But if you want to improve your range, I hope that helps. So this person was also asking about, how do I sound better? Like, how do I sing better? How do I be a better singer? And another person also asked, I want to be, or said, I want to be a better singer overall. So I'm going to combine these two questions of like, can I sound better? Can I become a better singer? How do I even do that? Okay. So I will say, I only say the word better because that's what, these people said. But I want you to know that it's like quote unquote better, because what is better, right? It's very vague, and it's also very like individual, for you becoming a better singer might just mean like you just sing with more ease. You don't feel so much pressure in your throat, right? Which is like, that is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, I don't want to be singing with any sort of pressure or tension, right? So that is singing better. For someone else, it might be just, sounding more in tune, and they struggle with sounding in tune. And oftentimes that whole throat pressure and in tune singing are definitely related, but so there are a lot of, so that's why like sound better or sing better is kind of like, it varies per person. So I will say that. But if you want to sound better, or you want to be a better singer overall, one of my number one things that I always say is that you need to start listening to yourself more. It's something that no one wants to do, least of all me, but you got to record yourself singing, record yourself in voice lessons, and listen back to yourself. What do you notice? What do you notice that you liked? And what do you notice that you would like to change or make better? Just one thing for each of those questions to start. That is how you start to become a better singer, is you start to listen to yourself more. A lot of the times we sing and we're just like, I'm going to just hope that I hit this note. I'm just going to hope that, this goes well, but we aren't really setting ourselves up for success if we're not listening to our voices, like listening to ourselves singing, and not only listening to yourself singing like auditorily, like, but also listening to yourself, like your body. How does your body feel when you are singing that? Does your throat hurt? If when my throat hurts when I'm singing, like if that immediately tells me that I'm overworking my jaw, I'm overworking my muscles that are needed, that are supporting my larynx. Maybe I'm overusing my muscles, right? I'm not relaxed enough somewhere, right? So those are some questions you can ask yourself, is what am I, not only how do I sound, what do I like about how I sound, what do I want to change, what do I want to improve on, but then how do I actually feel? Because if I'm feeling tension, that is a huge no. If you're feeling tension and you're also singing off pitch, fix the tension issue, and that's probably going to relate to the pitch issue. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of the times we're just not even becoming aware. And so that's going to help you become a better singer overall, is building that awareness of your voice. That's one of the number one things I work on, especially with younger students, is building awareness of your voice. Start to listen to yourself singing, start to listen to your voice, and recording yourself and listening back is a great way to do that. Um, and give yourself that feedback. Of course, it helps to work with a coach. It helps to work with someone who is outside of yourself, who has experience, who has training, and you're always welcome to come again to the Sing Confidently course. Right now, I'm doing a sale, so you can get a free voice lesson with me if you purchase literally this week. And so, yeah, go to creativelybyestelle.com/course if you really are serious about sounding better and becoming a better singer overall. And you need help in building that awareness, and you want an outside voice. You can get a free voice lesson with me if you purchase the course. And you also just get discounted lessons forever and ever, as long as you, do this one-time course purchase, which is really cool. Okay, so this next question, or like this next statement that someone said in the Facebook group when they were coming in, was that they want to find auditions as a performer. Great question. So if you are wanting to start singing and you're really intentional, like you want to become a singer, and you don't really know where to start when it comes to finding auditions, or like this person said, I want to know where to look for audition postings for paid gigs, which is great. So for me, I go to backstage.com. Number one, it is like an annual, if you want to like submit for these castings on Backstage, there is an annual fee. But you can also just like go on there and look at castings, I believe, for free. And then you can go to those like casting websites and probably apply or audition directly through the websites for some of them, or even like via email. So there's backstage.com if you're looking into, and that's for like theater, that is for singing, just like singing opportunities are on there, straight acting opportunities, like straight plays, as well as like TV, film, like commercials, even UGC ads, like user generated content, like those ads that you see on TikTok and Instagram, like all of that stuff is on Backstage. So Backstage is like the number one hub for, like, I feel like, for performers of all kinds. You can find so much on backstage.com. This is not sponsored, but hey, Backstage, if you're listening. um, what else? So you can also use Actors Access. I like have barely used it, and I just started going on there again, but there are like a lot of things that you have to pay for and stuff, but it is good, like, just to see what's out there as well. I'm still exploring that platform, but I know a lot of actors use that. That is actorsaccess.com. You can also look on like for theater performers, and this is for like if you want to do like regional theater, Broadway, anything like that, tours. You can go to playbill.com or Broadway BroadwayWorld.com, I believe, also has auditions on their website, Broadway World and Playbill. If you want to find like regional shows, regional auditions, and tours and Broadway auditions for sure. So, but if you're looking for like community theater auditions, this wouldn't be a paid gig. But if you're looking to sing in community theater and things like that, just look up theaters near me, like on Google. Just Google them and you'll find those theaters and go to their websites and see, look for their auditions page. You can also join Facebook groups for different states and cities. Like if you look up on Facebook groups for, like look up singing opportunities near me or open mic nights and things like that, you will find groups where they're, theaters and even coffee shops and restaurants and bars will like put their information in there saying, oh, we're looking for singers, or you can come to this open mic night, and that can lead to something more, right? So if you're looking for auditions online, I would say definitely backstage.com, and then Actors Access, playbill.com, Broadway World for theater and musical theater professional productions. And if you're also looking for like paid gigs as a singer and performer, I would also say Facebook groups are a great place to start, because you can look up even wedding event and events groups. You can join wedding and events groups and start reaching out to people in those Facebook groups about like, oh, do you need an event singer? Do you need a wedding singer? Right. And that's a great way to connect with people there. So that's something that I have been doing. And I hope that helps you if you're wanting to start singing and performing professionally, or even at a community theater level. Like these are great places to check out, and just generally looking it up on Google will never hurt. Okay, so I hope that helps you. Let's do one more question here. So let's see. Someone said, okay, that was for posting. Okay, audition postings for paid gigs. All right, this person said they just want to get back to performing at a community theater level. So I'll say to that point again, if you want to get back to performing in community theater, or if you've never done community theater, I would say look up community theaters near me and simply see when they're having their next auditions, and go to some of my past episodes on like choosing audition songs or prepping for audition tips if you need any support in that realm, or come and check out the course if you would like to take a voice lesson with me to help prepare for an audition. But yeah, if you want to do a community theater audition, why not go for it? It's an amazing opportunity to connect with other artists in your area and to get to sing in an audition, get to perform in an audition. And so literally just looking them up is the best way to do that. Just Googling that is very easy. And again, Facebook groups, you can also look up Facebook groups for community theater in my city, whatever your city is. I'm sure there are lots of Facebook groups for that. All right. And then the last question that I will answer is how to gain confidence in my own abilities, especially in auditions. Oof. So if you're struggling to gain confidence in your singing, especially when it comes to going to an audition, how do you do that? How do you begin to build confidence? Well, you build confidence by knowing your voice. That's the number one thing that's the first step in the course. You guys already know this if you listen to some other episodes. Start to know your voice. Just like I said earlier, build awareness of your voice, and what are some areas of your voice that you want to continue to grow. And you have to know that, if you know those, your strengths and your weaknesses and your like vocally, then you'll be able to go into an audition room knowing that you've chosen a song that does highlight your strengths, right? Because you know what they are. If you don't know that, then it's a little bit harder for you to feel confident in singing in front of strangers, right? So knowing your voice is so key. And part of that, which I go through in the course, is how to choose songs that you love, right? Choose songs that work for your voice. What questions, what criteria need to be answered? That's part of that. And then from there, you start to practice. You definitely need to prepare for this audition. How do you practice? How do you structure your practice routine? It's all in the course. And I've talked about this in past episodes, but you need to start by doing helpful warm-ups that will prepare your voice to sing, and also making sure that you've chosen a song that works for your voice. And from there, you have to start to put yourself out there, right? Building confidence comes from taking action steps, courageous action steps. And so literally before you even go to the audition, you can start putting yourself out there by maybe singing for a coach or singing for a friend and getting honest feedback from them. That's a great way to help boost your confidence. If they tell you like, oh, I loved this that you did, maybe you can try this, right? It can be a friend, it can be a family member. If you want to, if you're really serious, I do recommend a coach who can also give you that support and like tactical support, but then take it and go with it. Like that's amazing. You've gotten feedback before you even got to the audition, right? And so making sure that you have put yourself out there in some way before you even go to the audition is going to help build that confidence because you know that you have gotten feedback already. Does that make sense? I hope that does. And I hope that encourages you. If you need any support in any of these areas, like all these questions that I've answered here, I love to support, singers in even more one-on-one. And I can do that if you come to the course, because that way I can do a free voice lesson with you only for this week. This is only for this week before the price does go up for the course. So make sure you grab the course and grab a free lesson with me if you are ready to begin singing and doing it with confidence and not letting anything hold you back for one more second. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, because these are virtual lessons and I would be happy to support you, whatever your time zone, wherever you are. I'd be happy to give you this free lesson. And this lesson, the free lesson spot is for anyone who purchases the course this week before the price goes up. The price right now is $197 for the entire course. And in that course, there are 4 steps that take you through how to build confidence as a performer. Okay. And just automatically by being a student, you get discounted voice lessons anyway, but only for this week. You can also get a free half-hour voice lesson with me virtually where I can help you to begin building confidence as a singer. And I'm doing this because I really, really, really want you to actually take action. So if you've listened to these questions and you're like, man, like I really want to improve my vocal range. I want to become a better singer. I want to understand like how do I feel confident in my next audition? And I don't know how to do that. Like I don't have time for, real like in-person voice lessons. Like I don't have time for consistent voice lessons, but I do need to be intentional about this. That's why I created the course. It's for you. If you do not have time to be taking one-on-one voice lessons on a consistent basis, I completely understand, but you do need to be doing something, right? Like if you really want to be a confident singer and you really want to use your God-given creative talents, you do need to take action, right? I want you to take this seriously because it matters. It really does matter. Your voice matters, and your desire to sing and build confidence as a performer, it's worthwhile. It really is. And so I really encourage you to invest in yourself this week. Join me in the course and make sure you grab your free voice lesson. I can't wait to meet with you and help you to really take practical steps to improve your range or to, prepare for your next audition. Just make sure that you go to creativelybyestelle.com/course right now so that you don't miss out on the sale and that you don't miss out on getting that free voice lesson with me. Okay. I know that it can feel so overwhelming when you have so many dreams and desires and you wish you could sing, but you don't have time. There's just no time. And I get it. I really do. But you do need to take some action steps if you want to see that growth, if you want to see that confidence building. And I'm right here to support you. You guys know that I am. I'll be back on Thursday for the next episode. And you guys can always come to the Facebook group and ask your own questions and make sure you get your own questions answered on the podcast or over, messaging in the Facebook group and whatnot as well. Okay. So I'm here for you guys. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. But go to creativelybyestelle.com/course. I'll say it one more time so you don't miss out on this huge sale. The price will be going up starting next week. So I want to make sure that you get in on it before it ends. All right. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have an amazing day and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the performing arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.